All right, everybody. It's fun looking at this TV screen here. Before we get going, I'll actually make it right from the last couple media things we did the last day or two. But just want to shout out our 12s. Man, it was incredible atmosphere. I had some friends that live in Nashville. They were telling me about um, the downtown scene was just filled with Seahawks fans everywhere. People flying in, all their planes are filled with Hawks fans, and I'll tell you what, there's some great moments throughout that game where you could feel the energy generated from the 12s on the sideline, and I know our guys really appreciate it, and just want to say thank you for making the effort and all the enthusiasm. It was really a sight to see, something that's pretty rare. I don't think I've ever seen that in my career. Just that amount of fans on a road trip. So thank you.
Brian?
Yeah, Coach. Obviously, you've talked about how important toughness and reliability is for players and the values you guys want to instill. When you got a player who might be a little bit hurt and they're adamant that they want to play, and you've got training staff that's saying maybe be a little cautious, how do you kind of balance the line of allowing them to just demonstrate the toughness and reliability, but also maybe protecting them from themselves?
Yeah, it's a great point. It's tricky. I don't think what I'm learning is it's not like there's you get an image or you get a test and then all of a sudden there's some sign that comes popping up and says yes or no. It's a matter of opinion, and you're operating in the gray a lot, but no pun intended. I think the way I see it is, if we've deemed it safe for them to play and they're not at like added risk of putting themselves in danger of getting worse, that's kind of the line that we're looking at. I think that's our responsibility as the club to not put our guys in danger. But when they're ready and willing, it definitely makes you appreciate the effort and the toughness for sure. And there's been situations where we've had to make the decision for guys that have wanted to play, because it was in their best interest, even though they wanted to give it a go. So it's a tricky situation. It really is. It's really a case by case deal, and takes a lot of trust.
And then, are you expecting Julian Love and Eric Saubert to practice this week?
Yeah, we're still working through Julian's situation, and same thing with Eric. So we'll see on Wednesday what the plan is. Right now, we don't really have a clear enough plan to report.
Okay, thanks.
John?
Yeah, Mike, when we talked to Clint Kubiak last week, he said he was seeing a lot of growth in the run game. Another solid game, I think 5.7 yards a carry for you guys. Just where are you seeing the improvement there, and how is that helping you guys offensively as a whole?
Yeah, this is to your point. This is something that we've talked about for really the length of the season, and we felt like the effort was there, but the detail we kept wanting to chase, and we felt like a lot of these runs were a block away, and that's it's either at the second level, the receivers blocking, it's hitting our targets, going to the right people, initial movement, being in and out of the right plays. There's kind of a reason on every play, but it also felt like we were doing the right things and we were on the right track. We just got to keep firing away at it and stay in the course. And our guys have done that. I feel like everybody's really improved, including the running backs. And I think you're seeing, the results of that process. And our coaches are doing a great job scheming it. And we expect to stay on this track. This is going to be really important for us to be able to run the ball end of November into December.
Jen?
On the flip side of that, Coach, when you look at run defense, it has been a long time since we have seen a 100-yard rusher. When you get to this point in the season, how demoralizing is that when you can count on the defense to come through in those moments?
Well, it's a catalyst for the rest of the things we want to be able to do on defense, and putting these offenses in exclusively passing situations. And when we do get in those situations, what we learn from this game is we have to execute better, rush and coverage working better together. But speaking of the run defense, the guys are playing really hard. They're playing sound. When we do run pressures, I think our pressure execution right now is probably the best it's been in the last 2 years. And there's some really great stuff going on communication-wise. and making sure everybody's on the same page. And so that's a tribute to those guys' preparation and being bought in of how we want to operate as well. So that's something that we need to be able to continue to do.
Bob?
Yeah, Mike, first, any updates on the guys who were hurt yesterday, Ty or Chaz or George Holani?
Let's see. Yeah, those guys really don't know what to say. I mean, they're banged up. They got their respective injuries. I would say that IR is, part of the equation with those guys. Something we have to decide, and it's really going to be a function of how some of these tests come back and how they progress throughout the rest of the week. We'll see what their availability is for this Sunday, but they probably have to turn a corner to be available this week.
If Ty's out then, and with Julian with the safety depth, is that kind of what?
Yeah, we're just going to play with one safety and put everybody else in the box. I'm just kidding. I don't know. We have to figure something out.
And one more for me. What did you think of Sam Darnold's day yesterday when you looked at it on film?
Well, I thought there's several situations where he's working through his progressions and getting to number 3, including the backs, to keep the ball moving forward. I thought those were great plays for us. And then, identifying opportunities to throw it downfield that, obviously the man covers the jacks to really spark the day was great. And I thought he made some great decisions in the red zone. I mean, even the play at the end of the half to Jacks right there on the back line, I thought was a great play call and great execution by our guys. And we're, inches away from, scoring a touchdown there at the end of the half, and with the ability to double up going into the second half.
Masvita?
Hey, Mike. Why is power such an important element for your team? This from this morning. You talked about
why is what?
Power.
Power?
Yeah, you talked about like the power generation of when you're tackling, and then the power to finish.
Yeah.
Why is just an fundamental to your team and how you want them to play?
Well, I think our guys are powerful in their own right, but I think it's going to come from like multiple people at the point of attack. I can be the strongest man in the world, but if I'm one-on-one with you in the open field, it's going to be hard for me to knock you backwards and get you on the ground. Like, it's just guys in this league are too talented. And so it's really a team game. You got to make every tackle a vice tackle. You got to restrict space in the box. Offensively, you have to be able to sustain blocks and use the proper angles and really just have the resolve to keep moving forward. So it's simple and not easy. It's not easy to do that on a down-in, down-out basis, and I think that's what separates the great teams in our league.
And then on your red zone, what are you seeing there in terms of the needing to finish? I mean, you can't score a touchdown every time, but you'd rather score more than not.
Yeah, well, we need to improve in both phases, offense and defense. It's the same things. It's you got to keep the ball moving forward. You can't go backwards. So when we've done that as an offense, we've scored touchdowns. You saw that with Zach's touchdown there on the left side in the second half. So that's a positive, And defensively, you got to be able to stop the run, and then when they're forced to throw it, you can't let them scramble and extend plays and throw it past the sticks. I mean, it's really the same formula. It's just you can't let them like a 4-yard play on the 10-yard line is 40% of the distance to the end zone. If you get a 4-yard play on the -40, you're looking at it's no big deal. So yards are at a premium down there.
Thank you.
Ari?
When you watch back the tape, what did you think of Byron Murphy's game that he had?
That was one of Byron's best games. I thought he was dominant. The play made on 4th and short was just an incredible play. Really took on 3 defenders, set the point of attack. I thought he rushed really well. There's some times where we have to augment our communication with him and up front of what we intend to do and how we intend to work together. But he's playing at a really high level right now, and I'm happy to see it.
And then with Jackson, do you ever have conversations with him about the kind of season that he's having and how impressive it is what he's doing?
No, I just normal conversations. I mean, I guess what's understood doesn't need to be spoken. It's just like, just keep being you, brother. I mean, just same thing with the rest of our team. I mean, he's playing a really integral part of what we're doing right now offensively and as a team, but but he's still part of the team. And the way that he approaches every day and the way he practices and prepares helps our team, the best it can going into games. So, but yeah, it's no special conversations. I mean, he one play at a time.
Michael Sean?
And Mike, you said after the game you felt Ken. You've used like felt as your descriptor before. But in terms of just yesterday specifically, what did you see to make you say that from Ken?
Yeah, well, I think he was decisive running the football on his tracks and making fast decisions, which was great. He got us out of a couple tough situations, and then I felt him in the pass game. Like I was talking about earlier when Sam got to later on in his progressions, finding Ken late in the down to create a couple explosives for us, and Zach for that matter. But we got to keep doing that. Find him in the pass game and keep the running game going. But he played fast. Some great plays on the sideline. Some plays on the sideline we want to play a little bit better and finish plays a little bit in a better position, but on the right track for sure.
And you had said, he had earned more opportunities, and the snap counts and the usage reflect that. Would you like that to continue? Maybe not the specific numbers, but just kind of more.
Yeah, I think we'll stick to a similar plan. But I'll tell you what, when Zach went in there, he made some big time runs for us. He made the 2-minute run that got us the first down there on 2nd and long. Really ensured that we were going to end the half of the ball, which was great. We talk about the red zone all the time. I mean, that was a heck of a run that he had that scored a touchdown, had to make the corner miss. So Zach's playing at a really high level now as well, but Ken's also playing at a really high level.
Thank you.
Curtis?
Yeah, Mike, what'd you think of Pat O'Connell's day when you went back and watched it again and saw what it looked like?
Yeah, I'm happy for Pat. He's again, when we've talked about how he's prepared, all the work that he's put in, but I thought he played a really good game. I mean, there's the one play that he jumped on the first drive. I think that play actually making a mistake early probably helped him calm his nerves a little bit. So probably a cost of doing business on that play, but thought he was poised. I thought he played physically, played square, executed really well. Just felt like we could call our whole defense with him out there and be able to execute at a high level. So tribute to him being ready to go.
And what do you think the outlook is for Tyrese and Ernest this week? Do you feel like they have a chance to get back for you here?
Yeah, hopeful for both. It looks like Tyrese is on track to practice on Wednesday. We'll see. EJ's normal rep load throughout the week. We take care of him a little bit on Wednesday, so we'll take that as it goes. But I know he's itching to play, so we'll see how the knee feels throughout the week.
Greg?
Mike, we're in a hermetically sealed press box, so we didn't hear. Did Barner do a hard count? Or
I have no idea what that means. What does that mean?
we couldn't hear the snap count. Did Barner do a hard count, or they just jump off sides?
We had cadence on that play, and they ended up jumping off sides. Yeah.
When did you add cadence to the Barner repertoire on the?
We've actually done that. We've actually done that throughout the season. We haven't got anybody to jump yet, so. But that was the first time that it worked.
And then after the game yesterday in the locker room, Gray Zabel told us he was pretty much humbled by Simmons. He thought that Simmons really took it to him. From what we were watching a little bit, maybe not so. What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, Simmons is a premier player in the league, and anytime you're going against a guy like that, he's gonna get his plays. It's
right.
But it's a matter of competing and fighting, and I thought Gray, considering that, played a great game. There's some plays where, Gray sustained a block or was in a combination block on Simmons that really helped us spring a run. I'm thinking of the run against Sharps down on the red zone. So just really proud of his effort and his competitiveness. I mean, the guy's not backing down to anybody and won the opportunity to go against him. And it's a great experience for him too. Probably to Gray's point, this is about as good as the NFL has to offer, and it's a good measuring stick for where his game is.
And because he's gone against that, we've been talking about and you've been talking about how great he's been, but how against Simmons, is he there yet, or that's just where he's trying to get to?
Well, I mean, I think, I don't know, I don't want to put a grade on where his game is, but I think it shows you where he can go and where, that the progress and the growth that's available to him, and knowing Gray and how he works and seeing how he operates up to this point, I don't expect nothing less for him to keep growing to a premier guard in our league.
Thank you.
Brian?
Yeah, Coach, I'm sure you get questions all the time from people that are interested in getting into coaching in football.
Yeah.
What advice do you give them for getting started? And is there like a book or anything else that you kind of recommend for people that are kind of getting going in that industry?
Man. Yeah, I've been really fortunate to have like opportunities come as I've been younger, and so I think people it's really important to be an asset for what the job is being asked for you, for where you are in that moment. So it's about providing like value for your team, and it could be something as simple as like, I just got to make sure that dinner's set up every day at 6:30. Like that's a win, and then stack that. And then what happens is if you're a guy that or a girl that keeps hitting those marks and showing that they can add value and take things to another level, no matter what the person's asking you that you're working with, they're going to keep adding responsibility to your plate. And at some point, someone's going to recognize that. At some point, whether it's someone in that organization or on that team or on another team, coaches, we all talk, and you don't get jobs by telling everybody how sweet you are. You get jobs by coaches recommending people for you that have put so much invested in time into helping really that the coach ahead of them succeed, and we respect that. And the people that have done that, in my opinion, have earned the right to kind of have their careers progress. And what that also does is it really lets you learn the game and really go about it, so you have a solid foundation. So when you do get those opportunities, you can make the best out of them, rather than just this quick ascension and all of a sudden you're in a position where you're not ready for it. And that's really not the best thing for anybody involved. So that would be my advice.
Thanks, Coach.
Bob?
Sorry there. One more on the offensive line. What kind of season do you feel like Anthony Bradford has had, and then going we've had a couple of weeks now with Olu. So how do you feel like he's played there as well?
Yeah, I think look, AB he's playing hard. He's playing hard. He's playing physical. I think the right side of our line has really developed over the course of the season. I'd include Abe in that conversation as well. Abe's coming off an injury, gaining confidence with his play, kind of getting back to his old form. I think AB is the same thing. And I'll tell you what, Olu did another really nice job yesterday. He played hard. I think he made a lot of like unsung blocks that don't really go noticed, and deserves a lot of credit for that. I felt like our targets were on point for the majority of the game, especially in the run game. And Olu's the one running the show on that front, so he deserves credit for that.
Okay, thanks everyone. We'll see you Wednesday.
All right, thank you.